Hey, this is Andrew from AJS Woodworks, and I'm just going to do a quick review of the OEMTools manual fluid evacuator. This is the 5.3 liter evacuator. You can get it on Amazon for about $79, and I have a link to that in the description. You can also get a larger one. I believe it's around 8 liters, just in case you're replacing the fluid on a truck or something like that, the larger capacity. But I'm going to go ahead and get into how to use the evacuator. And the first step is to turn on your vehicle and get it to normal operating temperature. That way all of your fluids, such as your oil, which I'm going to be replacing today, are a little less viscous. So let's go ahead and turn on the car and get it to normal operating temperature. And the needle is moving up slowly, but we're going to wait until it gets to about the halfway mark, and then we'll go ahead and extract the fluid. So the car is all warmed up now, and these are all the things that you'll need to replace your oil. So of course you'll need your oil extractor. You'll need enough oil and the correct oil for your vehicle. You'll need some type of tool to remove your oil filter, either an oil filter wrench or a wrench like this one. You'll need the correct oil filter for your vehicle, and you'll need a funnel. So when you open up your fluid evacuator, it basically has three things inside besides the manual. You have your evacuator cylinder, the reservoir, and then you have your suction tube that goes inside this hole here. You have the place of attachment for your main suction tube, and then you have the handle that will actually pump the suction. This is your main suction tube. This piece connects to the main port there. This piece connects to your dipstick tube. And of course, your dipstick tube here, which you want to keep clean because you're going to put it down into the oil pan. This will connect to the brown connection on your main suction tube. So I'm just going to assemble it really quickly, and then we can get started. First, we'll start with the main suction tube. Just press this in here. Takes quite a bit of pressure. Then you can take your dipstick tube and connect it here. So you have your dipstick tube connected to your main suction tube, connected to your reservoir. So we're going to remove our oil dipstick and set that aside in a clean place. Then we're going to take our dipstick tube, run it down through the dipstick hole. All right, so now we've reached the bottom of the oil pan. You can tell because there's a lot of resistance, it no longer advances any further. So we're gonna go ahead and start pumping the oil. And as you can see, it's already starting to come out after just a few pumps. So I'm just going to continue to pump this until all of the oil is extracted. As you can see, the oil is flowing at a pretty significant pace down into the canister. And you can see here as the oil is pumping through, there's no leaks at all from this connection here with the dipstick tube, and no leaks from this connection here at the main suction tube. So I think it's about done. There's not really any oil in the dipstick tube anymore while there's suction. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the dipstick tube, and then we'll take care of the filter. And as you can see, there's no mess from the tip of the dipstick tube. It just maintains the suction and continues to suck the oil down the tube after you remove it. So that's nice to see. All right, now depending on your vehicle, you'll need to locate where your oil filter is. Mine on my Chevy Cruze is right here in the engine bay, really convenient to get to compared to having to get underneath the vehicle. Not a whole lot of room in there, but it's important to have the correct tool to remove your oil filter. You can either get an oil filter wrench, which I will link down in the description, or in my case, I'm just going to use a wrench for this oil filter cover. Not every vehicle, of course, will have an oil filter cover, but I will link both in the description so that you can purchase those if you need them. So let's go ahead and take the oil filter out. You remove your filter. All right, got the new filter in, new O-ring. Now just screw that back on. All right, now that I have the new filter installed, you can go ahead and remove your oil fill cap. Set that to the side. Get your funnel in place. And get the correct oil for your vehicle. And then go ahead and start to fill. Now the car is filled up with oil. Go ahead and remove your funnel. Replace the fill cap. And then you can put your dipstick back in. All right, now just start it up, let it run for a little bit, and check for any leaks, and then check the dipstick to make sure that it is full. All right, I've let the car idle for a while. You can check where the filter is, making sure that there are no leaks there, and we're good. No leaks anywhere else. You'd be less likely to get a leak here unless you put the cap on wrong. But now we can check the dipstick and see our oil level. All right, and as you can see here, we are full of oil. So you want to draw out the dipstick the first time, wipe it off, make it clean, stick it back in, and as you can tell, we are all the way full. It seems like the evacuator cylinder and everything is made really well. I'll be interested to see how the O-rings and everything hold up over time, because you're basically just pressing them into place. As far as emptying out the vacuum container, you'll simply remove the main suction hose, and it comes off a lot easier than it goes in, and you can then just dump the oil through this nozzle into a container to dispose of it. So that is how to replace your oil with the OEMTools fluid extractor. It only took 10 minutes to extract all of the oil out of my vehicle. You may have different experiences if your weather is not warm, or if you don't warm up your vehicle prior to extracting the oil. It's really important to do that step, otherwise the oil is too viscous to vacuum very quickly. But really only 10 minutes to get all the oil out is really not bad at all, and it's a pretty clean way to do it as well. As I showed you earlier, taking out the dipstick tube, I expected it to be a little bit more dirty. I expected it to leak out the end, but with that vacuum action, it keeps all the oil contained. So you don't lose any that way. The dirtiest part is really just the removing and changing the filter, because of course the extractor doesn't help you there. If you have any questions about how to change your oil with the fluid extractor or the fluid extractor itself, just let me know. I have a link down to purchase everything that you'll need in the description below, and thanks for watching.